Well, here we are once again. Welcome back to the channel, guys. Different video today. We're gonna be riding around. We've already seen some of these streets before. Down there's where we have Biscayne and Bayfront Park and all that stuff. And yeah, before I didn't have my camera out of my helmet, but now I'm holding it on my hand so you can see like just how insanely tall these buildings are. And we're in downtown Miami, and the reason for us being down here is very simple, is there are big events coming up. One of them being Ultra Music Festival.
Not just spring break in South Florida, Ultra Music Festival is back after a 2-year pandemic pause. This was the scene about an hour ago as fans rushed in to Bayfront Park. The 3-day festival attracts people and performers from really all over the world.
Yeah, many of those people staying in South Beach expected to experience some roadblocks getting home tonight.
Ultra Music Festival is a extremely popular music festival that happened here every year in Bayfront Park, and it brings a ton of tourists. It's basically EDM, electric music, like dance, all of that stuff, and it brings a ton of tourists. I think it's the second largest event here in Miami, only to the Art Basel, which is kind of similar in the sense that it brings a ton of tourism. And then also this weekend we have spring break coming up, dude. And spring break right down here in Miami goes absolutely insane. They've had to take so many measures to have people leave because, bro, people literally do like 48 hours non-stop partying down on the strip, which we're gonna go visit. So today's ride is gonna be from down here in Bayfront. We're gonna show you where Ultra Music Festival is, which is gonna be right over there. And then we're gonna go to South Beach, where most spring breakers are gonna be spending their time. If you guys do like the video, make sure to hit that like button. If you guys wanna see more of it, make sure to subscribe. And yeah, let's get into it. Strap you onto the helmet and let's go. Now this is pretty much the financial district down here of Miami, which is known as Brickell. Like Brickell is more that way, so Brickell is more that way towards where those buildings are, but we're not going over there today. So let's freaking go. They have a bunch of corporate dudes that work here and girls. They got their suits, their nice attires. But Ultra actually happens, and you can already start seeing some of the build outs. You can see the main stage right there that's being built, and this place goes, I mean, you can't even drive through here essentially when the event's going on. And it's happening the last week of March, the last weekend of March, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And you have like huge stages, and you're talking about crazy light shows. Already gated the park so they can have the construction, but the main stage there. And I mean, this event brings hundreds of millions of dollars to the city of Miami, and is one of the most popular. It's right by the bay, so there's a bunch of it's a nice scenery because you have the water right there. It's hot, it's refreshing. You have a bunch of stuff to do around, a bunch of restaurants. Now, a big complaint was obviously all these businesses and tenants and owners. I remember it's always a point of contention every year because they argue that, first of all, Ultra stays too late, meaning like into the night, and then you can't sleep or anything like that, which my counter to that is like, well, it's done over a weekend, so it's not really on a weekday or anything like that. And they've made various efforts to try and move that to a different part of Miami, but it just doesn't work. The infrastructure in place isn't there. Like if you were to have it in South Beach, I mean, that would be disastrous just because it's a bridge that you have to cross, and the traffic alone would be absolutely insane. Whereas here in Bayfront, at least you have multiple entries, right? You have different ways of getting in. Look at these tall ass buildings. But it just brings a lot of money. Airbnbs in here go through the roof for Ultra, and it's the same week as spring break. So if you want to come to Miami, the last week of March is definitely not the week to do it because it is absolutely wild. We're gonna take this bridge here. We're gonna take this bridge towards the beach. What's going on here? This guy's hogging up all the lanes. I'm gonna go ahead and pass that guy. So you guys have seen this in many of my videos. We're going towards MacArthur Bridge, which is the bridge that connects Bayfront to the beach. It's one of two bridges that take you to South Beach. The other one's a little bit further north. We've got giant cruise ships ready to go. Giant yachts. I mean, I don't know if you guys can see that. I'll try to... It's gigantic over there. And you're talking about yachts that probably cost anywhere, I mean, north of 50 million for sure. Like, those things are massive. And they are literally here just for Ultra and Spring Break. Like, these are not your average yachts here. It's insane, bro. It's so wild. And they like to park outside of Bayfront because they can hear the music and enjoy from the yacht. So let's go ahead and get through this bit of traffic here. But yeah, this weekend is gonna be, this weekend and next are gonna be absolutely insane. We're gonna see if we can talk to some cops, because for sure there's gonna be cops down in South Beach. There always is. But you guys have seen me take this bridge many times before to get down to South Beach. And it's usually full of cruise ships right there on the right, but given that it is a Wednesday afternoon, they're already out. They're chilling. Like, imagine if they held the festival in South Beach. Everyone would have to take this bridge, essentially, to get to it. Let's fold our mirrors in so if anything we can filter a little easier. But it's not only where the cruise go, but it's the port of Miami, so you have a bunch of cargo ships on the other side of where these cruises are, or would be, just offloading cargo. One of the busiest ports in the country. I think only beaten out by over there in LA, because it gets all the stuff from China, whereas we pretty much get everything else. Goes through Panama Canal to Miami or Jacksonville or one of those, and then from there it gets dispersed all through the East Coast. And now we're off the bridge and literally we're already at South Beach. So Alton Road, one of the most popular roads down here, very touristy area, because we go Alton and then the one further down is Collins, which I believe this year they turned into a one-way only. Welcome to Miami Beach, thank you very much. Now a lot of this is actually still pretty old. Like, you'll see the houses and the apartments, and there hasn't really been much remodeling here. Probably interior for sure, but in terms of exterior, it all looks pretty much the same from like the past 40-50 years. There's just more of it. A bunch. Look, it already has Collins Avenue. There's signs for no loud music, no honking, like. What's up, guys? Light to light, let's go. No. How's it going? God damn! Man, it's chilling. But this used to be a two-way, and then they turned it into a one-way just to alleviate some traffic. So you can only really go east. There's a byproduct. Pretty sure that guy lives here because those are state plates, obviously. it's huge for car rentals and stuff like that. A bunch of people is obviously, you know, like to flex. Not that those guys were. Those guys definitely do look like they live here. But a bunch of people like to rent out, you know, the expensive stuff. The Lambos, the Ferraris, things like that. So we can't go down Collins because they turned it into a one-way only. But what we're going to do is we're going to go a little bit north and then take Collins down. So you guys can see why it's so popular to come down here. And why hundreds of thousands of fraternity and sorority people do. Oh, shit. A motorcycle, bro, because... What the... That guy was like, what the... What do you want from me? Hey, what are you? That guy's braking on a green light! What do you want from me? Man, get the fuck out the way! So yeah, this before used to be, if you can see the yellow line, it used to be two-way, and they like shrunk it down and made the bike lane bigger. But now it's essentially just a one-way street. All because one of these fucking stupid hotels complained that it was hurting their, that the traffic was hurting their business, and they turned that. I mean, you can still see the yellow line still here on the floor. But you see why this place is so popular. You have a bunch of restaurants here on the right hand side, and then you have the beach right there on that side. Foods, restaurant, clubs, it's all within 100 yards. Like, you don't have to go anywhere. It's all here. And this place gets absolutely packed. I mean, you cannot drive through here, let alone take a motorcycle or anything like that. Like, it's literally impossible. Now remind you guys, it's Wednesday afternoon. Like, obviously people are working, no one's here right now. But during the weekend, bruh, forget about it. I don't blame any cops for not being outside of their car. I mean, it is truly blistering out here, bro. There's no breeze. Usually there's a breeze, but no breeze today. Well, no cops to talk to, man. They're all hiding. They don't want to come out. They're all in their cars. I'm not gonna be that guy, a random creep that goes up to them and he knocks on their window. Hey, get me up at your house going. No. But trust me, it's gonna get busy. If you don't believe me, here's some news footage.
Also now at 11, Miami Beach restaurants, bars, and liquor stores closed hours earlier than normal. A curfew going into effect tonight at midnight gave them no choice.
City officials did it to prevent trouble associated with spring break crowds in years past, but the move is also causing controversy. CBS News Miami's Larry Seedworth joins us live from Miami Beach. And Larry, what are police doing?
Elliot, we see swarms of flashing lights behind me. This is a mix of the City of Miami Beach police officers as well as Florida Highway Patrol state troopers. You're looking live at a DUI checkpoint. They did this, police did last weekend. They're obviously doing it as we speak. They're going to do it Saturday as well as Sunday night. In the distance, you can see the giant light, the sign with the lights illuminating, explaining a curfew that is in effect that starts here within the hour that is already having an impact. They close before sunset. MB Liquors, where one neon sign on the front door blames an emergency order, a curfew for Miami Beach between Biscayne Bay, 17th Street, the Ocean, and South Point Park. Businesses had to close early enough for customers to be off the streets by midnight.
Tourists are crazy here.
Last year, violence killed 2 people in spring break crowds. Curfew is part of a crackdown that includes closing South Beach early, DUI checkpoints, and visitor parking bans in public lots.
Based on the intel and the data we've had over several years, we felt it was necessary. And our first and foremost priority is public safety, law and order. Our residents are demanding it, and we're delivering.
On Ocean Drive.
And that's it, guys. We're done. That's essentially that. Imagine what we just went through, but with like, I don't know, 50,000 people. It's absolutely wild. Let's get some air on this bike, man. That's gonna do it, guys. As always, if you guys did find this video informative, entertaining at all, make sure you go ahead and hit that like button. And if you want to see more, go ahead and subscribe. I mean, we put 3 videos out a week, guys. 3 videos. So any support will be hugely appreciated. Until then, as always, ride safe, have fun, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace!